And so I was like, well, we have to come up with something that's got its own. You know, the problem with parodies is they've no life of their own. They suck their life from something else, right? Parodies are, you know, if you parody James Blunt, you know, you don't have any you know, you can't take that somewhere else. There's a lesson on it. Because I did a bunch of parodies and it was fun, but it wasn't that fun. So I was like, well, what's the next to this is the way I looked at it. The cool thing about the Was Up thing was it was authentic. It came from the African American community, and we just took it to a bigger stage. So I was like, what is the next kind of most appealing, as the most texture culturally? And I was like, well, I lived in New York for 5 years, and I was like, kind of New York, New Jersey is kind of cool, isn't it? And it was right about the time when The Sopranos was getting big. So what we did was we got the director of The Sopranos, one of the directors of The Sopranos, to put together a New Jersey bunch of friends who you weren't quite sure what they were doing, and it was kind of like vaguely hinted at that it was mob related, but not really, and you know, it was just kind of. And we got another year out of that. So we did these things, and at this point I was aware that like with the Was Up thing we could have put out, you know, like my hand doing Was Up on the screen and people would laugh. You know, we didn't even have to try. But I knew we'd reached the point where we had to start delivering on story, and you better be funny and you better have a funny gag, right? And so this was actually one of the last ones we did with this, right? And I liked it, but I'm proud of it because we managed to string it out and people weren't killing us. And it was kind of like, it was like Was Up, but it kind of wasn't. It was, you know. So this was this is the last one we did, and this actually aired during the Super Bowl 2002, right? This one.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm doing fine. Just got in today. My brother-in-law picked me up at the airport. Pretty big airport y'all got here. And the people here are so nice.
You want a beer?
I want a bud.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just got here at the airport, and the people sure are nice.
Nice people. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just got here. My brother-in-law came and picked me up from the airport.
You know, so, and that was kind of that to me was like, I always often wondered when I was doing the Was Up campaign, like, how was it going to end? And I remember when we were filming this going, yeah, this is probably the end. Jersey guys meets Texan and it's similar, yeah. And the thing about this was like, I would be filming these commercials, because we had complete freedom. There was nobody in our way. We could do what we wanted. This is how I ended up doing this. And I remember I remember watching this one and going, I felt guilty. I'm like, how was this related to beer advertising or selling beer? I don't know, but it was fun to do. Because what we realized was, this was, people, about a year, 2 years after this, people started talking about branded content. Well, this was branded content. This was, this was actual entertainment. People seemed to agree it was entertaining. It wasn't just some guy going, hey, we're out of Budweiser, woo, which I always hated with a vengeance. I hated that setup. So anyway, that was that one. And so I'm trying to think of what I should talk about next. But so this was all, by this point, this was 2002, the internet was in full effect, and everyone was going, well, how do we do the next Was Up and whatever. And along comes Subservient Chicken, which did like 40 million hits. It's nothing. And but it was interesting because another thing about this was worldwide. I mean, I remember going to France and everyone in France was going Was Up when they were drunk, and I went home to Ireland, the pubs would empty on the street, and the kids would be shouting, "Was Up?" So it was very interesting to see that, like it wasn't just Germany did the same thing. And so it was just one of those things. And so after that, I was like, I got really interested into like, well, how do we, after I did something like this, it's very hard to go back to like, stuff that isn't that, that isn't that exciting. It's just an ad, it runs, and it's like, it kind of got me interested in, well, what can you do with this stuff? So, just going to give you some examples of stuff. Oh, you know what I gotta go now? Hang on. I'll show you this. Let me show you. There's QuickTime or YouTube. I clicked it away, didn't I?
Window menu up at the top.
Oh, now you're confusing. Where's that? Where?
We got it.
So let me show you. This will give you an example of how much that was. This is right here. Oh, it's not working. Keyboard hooked up? Well, never mind. Anyway, where is this thing? Oh, I kind of need. Can we get?
What do you need?
Oh, just YouTube. I just want the keyboard. Keyboard. Oh, it's working. It's working. Sorry, it wasn't working on YouTube.
It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
I got it.
You got it.
Okay, cool. I'm not the most technical person in the world. This one, this is kind of interesting. You can see this. Remember, this is like 2 years, when The Office came out, right? When The Office came out, look at this. In the first episode.
What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up?
He was like, it was people like him that killed it. People like him and like the annoying guy from the Office. He's like, yeah, it's about a year too late. Oh, yeah, but let me show you something else. So, in the interviewing time, we've done like, I've done tons of websites, all that sort of stuff. Because that's what interests me. And where it is? Where is that? Where's this trailer for this? Is that a trailer? Trailer. No, I'll show you. So, for Office Max, right? This is like, we started doing this 2 years ago. Where is that thing? We had this assignment to do something for back to school. And we were like, well, back to school is kind of like, it's still like Christmas, in a way. It's an event in kids' lives. And there's no programming for it, right? So we had the idea of doing a TV show featuring kids that we would air on a TV network, right? And it was, so we had to, it was a very interesting process. One of the most interesting things I've ever done, for me anyway. And the reason it was interesting was because it was, I'd never done it before, and I don't think not many people have done this at this point. And then we did 2 of these things. And it was just like, we were going to have to shoot a TV show, a prank TV show, right? And then we would air it on a TV network. And the idea was we would get kids to watch this thing. Because kids don't care about back to school. Kids don't, there's a lot of things kids don't care about. And so we were like, well, let's our idea was basically, we had a relationship with Disney, that was the thing, yeah. And Disney has a record label and all this sort of stuff. So we were going to use Disney, air it on Disney, and use the Disney artists, okay? So this is what we did.
On June 23rd, the students of New Milford High School got the shock of their lives.
Here are the All-American Rejects!
Trailer.
Our school was chosen to be on a TV show.
It's an exam in 2 parts. The first part is an oral exam.
Sorry, I should point out that the premise of the prank was that the music department, the band and the choir were going to lose musical funding if the students didn't pass a series of tests. And we got the parents involved and everybody. So the kids showed up on a Saturday in the middle of summer, and the place was rigged up with hidden cameras, right? So that was the premise. And then they had to, the band had to learn how to play the theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey in one day. And then, the best part was, then they had to go to an auditorium in New Jersey, and just as they were walking in, they didn't know this, but it was the New Jersey State's Youth Symphony. Were playing this flawlessly. Just as they're walking in, and they were like a crappy version. They had learned it was very fun.
Very young now.
The second part of the exam is a practical part.